Hi Taz, thanks for joining us. It's great to see you again. Um,
Hi Baz, thanks for inviting me.
it's an absolute pleasure to see you. Um, Listen, I just want to catch up with you because obviously we've been talking a lot to the people that we know and putting out there about Unleash Your Awesome, which is coming to Scotland
It
on the
is.
23rd of April. And
Yeah.
everyone's very excited about it.
hmm
And some of the things that have kind of been coming up, I just kind of wanted to put out there so that people have the answers to all the questions. And, you know, one of the ones that has popped up just a couple of times is, who is Taz Thornton? So, you know, it's kind of, you know, I thought, well, let's get it from the horse's mouth. Let's hear it firsthand. Who is
Yeah.
Taz Thornton? What are you about?
Oh, well, there's a big question. What am I about? In a nutshell, authenticity and helping people to find out what their real life path is. Quick background without boring people forever and a day. It's all on my website, tazthornton.com, so people can find out more. Like tiny, tiny nutshell here. I spent years and years and years in corporate. My background is publishing and marketing. And I went into my first journalism job at the tender age of 16 when I impressed my local newspaper group so much that they opened up a job for me. So I left all the A levels and exams I was doing and went straight into on the job training there. And then I was news editor by the tender age of 20, which is pretty young for that line of work. I had my first editorship of a national title by, I think, about 26, 27, thereabouts. And anyway, fast forward to the last job I had in corporate, and that was as UK director for what was at the time one of the biggest multinational business-to-business publishing companies. And you think, excellent, you know, I've got the pinstripe suit, I've got the big Audi, I've got the bonus payments, private healthcare. Well, man, I was rocking it. Except on the inside, I was shriveling up and dying. The trouble was, I had spent years and years and years climbing that proverbial ladder only to realise it was up against the wrong wall. I'd been following somebody else's dream. I'd been carving out this life for myself based on what I thought I should be doing, having, you know, followed advice and wants and stuff from family, friends, things you see on TV. But it just wasn't filling me up. And fast forward, I got into a scenario where I was struggling so much that I was putting this mask on every day. I was going to work, plastering on the jacket and the smile, coming home, crying, getting up, putting the jacket on, putting the mask on, going to work, coming home, crying. And it went on and on and on until I hit what I refer to as my eight weeks of hell. And in this one 8 week period, pretty much every element of shitstorm that could hit somebody's life hit, all in one massive nuclear explosion. My uncle died, my dad died, my partner was made redundant, my partner was diagnosed with a pretty horrible health issue. Lots of family issues and debt came to light that I wasn't aware of. So that safety net I thought I'd had for years, gone. Anyway, there was more than that, but they were the main points. And at the end of that, it just all got too much, and the mask started to crack. And I had what I now refer to as a breakthrough. And what that did, although I was carry on working for a while, it made me start to take stock and realise what I actually wanted from life, what I wanted, not what other people wanted me to do. And I'd always had an interest in helping and coaching people. I'd always had an interest in, well, quite a balance between kind of the left brain and the right brain, if you like. So I trained in NLP, a bit of hypnosis, some coaching, some mentoring. I'd also trained in things like Reiki and energy medicines. And I spent about a decade-long learning curve working with some of the best people I could find who trained firsthand with some of the indigenous old shamanic and medicine people. Um, and it turned my life around, Baz. And when I had that breakthrough, I carried on working for a while, but then started to dig my way out with a teaspoon and eventually left and leapt into what was the great unknown. No safety net, no savings, just a heap load of debt, but this knowing that there was a bigger picture and there was more. And that what I really wanted to be doing was helping people and coaching people and helping them realise that there's more to life, and helping people to realise that what they think they should be doing isn't always what their heart wants them to be doing, what they need to be doing. And I've got this philosophy now that if I can help anyone at all get to the point where they have these realizations and learn how to get into flow and learn how to really attract and manifest the life they're here to live rather than the one that they've enabled other people to carve out for them, Well, nobody needs to hit that breakdown stage I went to. Nobody needs to hit that. And yes, I see it as a breakthrough, but it wasn't a pretty time. And if I can help just one person avoid that, that's what I'm about. So after I dug my way out with that golden teaspoon, and hit the time of thinking, oh my God, how am I going to pay the mortgage? And my wonderful partner saying, it's okay, we'll be okay, we'll be okay. But I could see the panic in her eyes as well every time it got to that point in the month with this massive gulf. But it's okay because I'm happy. I had to pick up fairly quickly. So we did lots of stuff. We launched some online products. I launched some online learning products. We launched which ties slightly into following your dreams. We wanted to get in touch and get out there. We launched what was at the time the world's first multimedia magazine for the Twitterverse, and made loads of great contacts through that, both from real life and celebrity contacts. My following started to grow, and through using that as a platform, using that as a medium, people started to say, well, can you work with me? And that, of course, coupled with the work I initially met you through, Baz, because we both trained as firewalk instructors, extreme empowerment coaches.
Yeah.
If I now look at my toolkit, if you like, I've got all those years of corporate managerial experience and people management and all of that stuff that wasn't really turning me on at the time. But if you couple that with some of the life skills I now have, some of the empowerment knowledge and skills, some of the energy-based knowledge and skills, there's some really old, ancient tribal techniques to help people to live a more fulfilled life that we don't think about now because it's all been NLP to within an inch of its life, and some of the meaning has been lost. And I've got this massive kit bag. So that's who I am. And over the past few years particularly, there have been more and more people coming to me and wanting me to work with them. I've ended up on TV and on radio and in magazines, and that's all great. But the point is, it's not about me. It's not about ticking Taz's ego box. It's about the more people I can reach, the more people I can help. And so that's one reason, after a very long explanation, that I'm delighted to be bringing Unleash Your Awesome to Scotland.
Excellent. So, I mean, obviously you've got a wealth of experience, a huge breadth of knowledge there, covering multiple fields, which, presumably you bring all of that to Unleash Your Awesome. What can people expect on the day?
What can people expect on the day? Well, they can expect lots of high octane, good, empowering fun. And here's that thing about that empowerment word that really is getting so overused now. It's turning into a bit of a cliche, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't teach somebody empowerment. I can give somebody the tools to empower themselves and to empower their lives. And that's what it's about. There's lots of different ways of looking at it. The Unleash Your Awesome events we've run up to now, we've run around the UK. It's been mainly around about the Midlands and east of England. So I was delighted when Marina said, I can't make the one in the Midlands, come and do it in Scotland. That's great. But the ones we've run so far, to be fair, haven't been anywhere near as exciting as the one we're running with you guys. It's because we've got your experience as well, and there's this kind of joint venture feel going on that we can bring so much more to it. I mean, if you look at the way people respond to some of the events that I've run up to now, it's not unusual for people to compare me to Tony Robbins. Now, to be fair, I love the stuff I've heard of from Tony Robbins. I've never worked directly with him. I've never been to his seminars. But what I do hear an awful lot from particularly people in the UK is that they shell out all this cash to go and they feel great at the time, but then the effect starts to dip after 3 to 6 months. And I think that's probably where I'm offering something a little bit different, because I'm not offering an event where I'm going to be standing there and charging people up into that USA style level 10 state and just talking at them and giving them my energy to go away with. It's not about that. My energy will not serve anybody there. What I'm about is teaching people to harness the power of their own energy, teaching them to tap into those untapped reserves of potential they didn't know they had, teach them to look at their life from a different perspective in a different way. I'll be challenging them to look at which areas of their lives are actually working for them, which areas of their lives actually fill them up from the inside out, and which areas of their lives they're really just ticking the box for somebody else. So it will be challenging. I'll be encouraging people to step outside of their comfort zones a little bit. There will be some of that extreme empowerment work thrown in. There may be the option to do some firewalking towards the end of the day. And there'll be lots of encouraging people to really dig deep and really engage and to connect, not just from the head mind, but from the heart mind. And I think that's what's happened in Western culture. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about life or work or business. And for me, if you're on the right path, they're kind of all the same thing. They all interlink. But there's this head, heart disconnect. We operate everything from here. So it's no wonder that this and this, heart and gut, so many people suffer in those areas. So this day is about helping people to realise what it is they might be missing, helping people to understand how they really can start to follow their dreams, helping people to understand what it is that fills them up, that gets them excited, that gets them to feel passionate and excited about life again, and helping them to really forge a pathway into the future. In fact, one of the exercises we will be doing, it's kind of like getting into a TARDIS. I'll be giving people tools to enable them to look forward into their own future and say, well, hold on, is that the future I want? If it's not the future I want, what do I need to do in order to create the one I want? If it is the one I want, fantastic. How do I get there? So there'll be a smorgasbord of tools, but it's all real stuff, Baz. If people are going to come along to this and think they're just going to sit and listen and soak up that pink-haired woman being crazy and throwing loads of energy at them for a day, they're in the wrong seminar. This is not about them soaking up my stuff. It's about me enabling them to unlock their own. And that's why we do put a warning on the material for this. This day really will change your life if you allow it to.
I mean, there sounds like there's so much in there. And, you know, I know from personal experience, a lot of the people I work with and people that Marina works with, that there are so many people who have this dichotomy between head and mind,
Yeah.
and their heart and their gut, and they feel pulled in so many different directions. And, you know, it certainly sounds like you're offering the opportunity for people to really get a handle on that and get to grips with it. But,
Yeah.
you know, it might not be for everyone. So, you know, who is this for?
Well, this one is particularly marketed at women. If any guys want to turn up in drag, I will cast a blind eye if they really need the work that simple. Scratch open the records, Miller. It's for people who want change. It's for people who are willing to go that bit further and know that, you know what, I might not know why my life isn't filling me up. My life might look great on paper, but for some reason I'm not excited, I'm not happy. For those people who wake up on a Monday morning and groan instead of thinking, wow, fantastic, and another amazing new week. And yeah, that sounds so cliched. I know it does. And there are so many people out there, you know, pushing positive memes around Facebook and the internet. But this is real. This is real. This will give people the tools to change if they're ready for change. This is real, inspirational, breakthrough change for real people who are ready for change. So if people want to just come and sit and listen, but then aren't prepared to take the steps they need to make, real, positive, determined strides to create the future they want, if they don't want that, then it's not the seminar for them.
So this is really about people who are ready to take action and ready to make change in their life.
It really is for people who are ready to make change. And even if they don't know what that change is, and that's a massive point, Baz, actually, so many people don't know why they feel unfulfilled. They don't know why their life isn't filling them up. They don't know why they're not waking up with a big grin plastered across their face. Because we don't. We're conditioned in the Western world to operate from here and to go after the wage packet and the designer clothes and the big car. And we don't know why that doesn't make us happy. But you know what? It's never about the Ferrari. It's never really about the island. It's never really about the private jet. It's about the feeling that these things give to you. And until you get to the point, until you get to the point where you understand what it is you need and what's missing, you can't then fill that gap. And it doesn't matter how much cash you throw at things, how much work you throw at things, how much time, dedication, blood, sweat and tears you throw at things. If you don't know what's missing, you can't fill that gap. And that's one of the things I hope to give people on this day on Unleash Your Own.
So if somebody's sitting at home right now and they're listening to this or watching this, and they're thinking, that sounds like me, you know, they have that feeling and they just, you know, they want to take the next step, what do they do?
Well, the first thing they do is go and book themselves a ticket. It's that you can book the tickets direct through www.tazthornton.com/events. Now, they've missed the early bird rate now, but this is still on a ridiculously low fee. Ordinarily, tickets for these events are £200 plus. Because we're working in association with you guys, we've got a special deal where it's right down to £95. And if people book in groups, it's even better. I think it's 67 thereabouts. Might be a bit less. Check the website, guys. You know, I'm not a numbers girl. I'm an action girl. The one thing I will say is that if anybody wants to benefit from one of those group rates, just start to think outside the box a little bit. In order to benefit from a group rate, you don't have to be part of an organisation or a business group. You don't have to be getting all your colleagues to sign up. Anyone can organise a group of people to come along to this and benefit from the group rate. So if you're just one individual and you've got loads of other female friends who you think would benefit, talk to them. If you book at once, you'll get a much better deal. And in order to do that, all you need to do is just ping me an email, tell me how many you've got, and then we'll work out that group rate and make sure that you get something from it.
Excellent. I mean, that sounds absolutely fantastic. And I know, you know, from the conversations we've had, it sounds like there's a fairly packed day. But what happens afterwards? You know, so when people have had the day, they've got all the tools that they need, what happens next when they leave?
Well, that's actually, I'm glad you've mentioned that, Baz, because that's one of my things. I cannot abide these workshops and seminars people go on to, and then all of a sudden they're just left high and dry afterwards. Not about that at all. Everyone who comes onto the workshop will automatically be given, oh, well, we say lifelong, but for as long as Facebook exists, entry into a closed and secure Facebook group just for people who've been on to Unleash Your Awesome events. So there's a support network of like-minded, positive, go-getting individuals who will understand, who will be able to support and to encourage. And I'm on hand as well. I'll be dipping in and out of that group. So I'm always there to support people as and when needed. And the other thing, I think we've been talking about this in some of the material as well, which was yours and Marina's bright idea, and it's an amazing idea. One lucky lady is going to benefit from winning a free one-to-one personal consultation coaching session with me as well from the event. So there's that to look forward to as well. But it's about ongoing support. It's about helping people to use the tools we give them on the day to really affect positive, exciting, empowering, fiery change.
Excellent. I mean, that sounds amazing. 23rd of April, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again and welcoming you to Scotland on behalf of my nation. So yeah, it's get along, get booked, I suppose is the next step for anyone who needs to do it.
Yeah.
And absolutely, thank you for your time. I know you're incredibly busy, and you know, I'm sure you've got lots of people to be helping as the day wears on. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and have a chat with me. And I'm sure that there might be an opportunity for us to maybe catch up again before the event, and if
Definitely.
we will get something out. But thanks so much for your time.
Questions or things they want to ask, by all means, we can set up another session and do some live Q&A or something. I'm happy to answer any questions that people have. Let's get everybody along. Let's not miss this opportunity. Who knows when I'll be bringing this to Scotland again? So let's crack on and make the most of it. Excellent. Scotland, get ready to unleash your awesome. Taz Thornton, thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks, Baz. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.